Hey guys, welcome back to another video. I'm gonna start doing these talking things a lot more and talk more about college football mostly over anything else, coaching changes, what I expect, opinions, and stuff like that. So I hope you enjoy videos like this. And today I'm gonna be going over should Sam Pittman be the AP Coach of the Year this year? So Arkansas has an interesting past, with some good coaches and some really bad coaches. It kind of all started with Brett Bielema, and after he got fired, that sent Arkansas spiraling down into the Chad Morris area. Chad Morris was not the greatest coach ever. He only came out of high school coaching, and he didn't really know what he was doing in the big leagues, but Arkansas fans had big hopes for him, but they only had 4 total wins in their 2 seasons with Chad Morris. No one liked Chad Morris, and that was probably one of the worst eras in Arkansas history. But then they hired someone named Sam Pittman. Now, Sam Pittman, not a lot of people believed that he could do very good because he had never head coached before anywhere, but he had been an offensive lineman coach at Georgia, so there's some connection to big schools, SEC schools there. With Sam Pittman under the reins, in an all SEC season, they got 3 wins. Excuse me, 4 wins. No, not really, but you know what I mean. In Sam Pittman's second year at Arkansas, he showed some amazing improvement, even though the first game against Rice worrisome for the Arkansas fans. He kicked off a great game against Texas, and Arkansas absolutely dominated. Later, we'd find out that that's a pretty mediocre Texas team and not usually what Texas is as a school. They also played Georgia Southern and beat them in pretty dominant fashion, 45 to 10. But then Arkansas played Texas A&M. Now Texas A&M is a really good team. They beat Alabama, which Alabama does not look like themselves this year, but beating Alabama is a big thing. And Texas A&M looked dominant in the games after that as well. Arkansas really proved a statement when they beat Texas A&M, and they are ranked in the top 10 for the first time since 2012. They then were shown in a game day game against Georgia in Athens, but that didn't end very well, ending in a blowout with a Georgia victory. But you really can't blame this young Arkansas team because they haven't really been put in a situation against a really good school in their stadium. Because remember, the Texas A&M game was a neutral site, even though it was closer to Texas A&M. Still, it was less nerve-wracking for the Arkansas players in the Texas A&M game than in Athens. They then went on a losing streak and lost to Ole Miss because of a failed two-point conversion with no time left on the clock, and they lost to Auburn in a game that Arkansas just broke down. There was no excuse for that game, but Sam Pittman held his head high, and they continued their run. They then got a chance to regroup in a game against Arkansas Pine Bluff, and they knocked off a very good Mississippi State school 31 to 28 because Mississippi State missed a last-second field goal. They then went into Baton Rouge and took on LSU, a team still rebuilding, trying to find their identity, and they ended up winning in overtime thanks to Monteric Brown's interception. They then played a declining Alabama team and played them very close and very well, and they finished off the season with an amazing win in dominant fashion over the Missouri Tigers. And it is the first time in program history that Arkansas has won all of their rivalry games in a single season against Missouri, Texas A&M, and LSU. Arkansas is expected to go to a very good bowl game, and Sam Pittman's recruiting is only getting better. Sam Pittman is known as the coach with the great recruiting. They have the number 18 recruiting class next year, up from 45th from the Chad Morris era. Sam Pittman led a struggling Arkansas team to one of the best seasons they've had in a long time, and he definitely deserves to win the AP Coach of the Year. Tell me in the comments what you think about this, and I'll read over everyone and reply and say if I agree or not, or if you give me some suggestions for future videos. Thank you guys. You guys are the best. Peace.